Epilogue. Henry. Henry locked the door of the store and touched the simple box in his pocket. He hoped it would be enough for her. The store was doing better, but rings were still expensive, so he'd opted for a simple gold band, but he'd had it engraved with their initials. The evening air was warm, but not stifling as he walked to Mrs. Nelson's to pick up Mary. If she accepted his proposal, he wouldn't have to do this much longer. He knocked on the door and Mrs. Nelson opened it. "Well, don't you look dapper," she said, opening the door for him. Come in. Mary will be down in a minute." She led him to the parlor and pointed at a chair for him to sit. Though nervous energy zinged through his body and Henry had no desire to sit, he followed instructions and perched on the edge of the couch, but he could not keep his leg from bouncing. When he heard footsteps coming from the hall, he shot up and waited for Mary to come into view. She did, and his breath caught. She was wearing a new dress, one Elizabeth had made, and it fit her like a glove. The dark blue brought out the color of her eyes, and the neckline scooped low enough to show off her creamy skin, but not so low that it was revealing. Her hair, which she normally wore up, fell in dark ringlets tonight, falling on her shoulders like satin ribbons. "You look beautiful," he said. She smiled softly at him. When she had first arrived, the hardness of her life had been etched in her face, but now it was softer. There were still lines that hinted at her age, but they no longer looked harsh. Instead, they gave her an air of wisdom. "Thank you." "Obviously, since the dance is at night, the sundown curfew won't apply," Mrs. Nelson said, breaking the mood. She turned her gaze on Mr. Brown and pointed an accusing finger at him. "But that does not mean you keep her out all night. You bring her home at a respectable time. Do you hear?" Henry pressed his lips together so that he wouldn't chuckle at the older woman. She might be his elder, but he was not the young man she was treating him like. "Yes, ma'am." Mrs. Nelson nodded and then shooed them out. "Well, go on then." With a smile, Henry held out his arm, and Mary placed her hand through it. "Will this be your first dance?" he asked as they walked to the dance hall. "It will. I'm not sure I even know how to dance." Times like this, Henry felt saddened by all that Mary had missed, but he was glad that God had sent her into his life, and especially glad that he could share some of these new experiences with her. "Don't worry, dancing is easy, especially when you have a good partner." "Oh, and I suppose you are that good partner?" she teased him. He'd thought he was going to wait until after the dance to ask her, but the moment suddenly felt right. "I want to be. In fact, I'd like to be your partner for life." He stopped and turned to take both of her hands in his. "Mary Lockwood, you helped me find love again when I thought it had gone forever. Will you do me the honor of being my wife?" He pulled out the ring box, opened it, and dropped to one knee. Mary gasped, and her eyes filled with tears. "You want to marry me?" "More than anything," he said. "Please say yes." "Yes," she said, as the tears leaked down her cheeks. "Of course the answer is yes." Henry slipped the ring on her finger, swung her around, and then set her back down on the ground. With gentle hands, he tilted her face up to his and lowered his lips onto hers. She was not Maggie, and he knew life with Mary would be different than it had been with Maggie. But he thanked God for giving him a second chance at love, an enchanted love that he would cherish for the rest of his life. The end. If you enjoyed this book, please leave a review at your retailer. Just a few words is all it really takes. And if you'd like to see what other books of mine you might enjoy, keep reading.